Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of Cougar Central. I'm Eric Kelly, and with me, as always, is Cindy Gearbrack. Cindy, what a win for UH football this weekend. What was your favorite part of Saturday's game?
You know, it had to be Brandon Wilson's kick six, and I got to tell you, that was a home game. If I've ever seen one, that entire stadium was red.
It certainly was. My personal favorite, some of those big hits Houston had in the first quarter really seemed to turn the tide in that game and lead to what was a statement win for the Houston football team as the Cougars earned a huge victory over a top 5 team in number 3 Oklahoma, and boy, did they do it in a big way. Houston stayed close to home at NRG Stadium and held it down for the state of Texas with a 33-23 win. The Cougars really separated themselves from the Sooners after the first quarter when they outscored Oklahoma 30-13, but now it's on to Lamar, this Saturday's opponent.
And after a big win, 2 Cougars earned conference honors. Senior quarterback Greg Ward Jr. was named the American Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Week after he threw for 321 yards and 2 touchdowns. While another senior, Brandon Wilson, was named the AAC Special Teams Player of the Week. In case you missed it, he returned a failed field goal attempt, 109 yards for a game-defining touchdown. And while the football team picked up a big win, it wasn't the only team that had a winning weekend here in Houston, as the volleyball team hosted the annual Houston Cougar Classic. For the second straight weekend, the volleyball team picked up 2 more wins here in H-Town. The team beat Texas Southern and Lamar to take second in the tournament and improve to 4-2 on the season. With another set of wins comes another set of accolades as 2 Cougars earned spots on the all-tournament team, with Chanel Walker and Sarah Afflerbaugh taking home honors for the Cougars.
So again, a banner week for Houston Athletics, and Sid, it seems like we keep saying this every week. Both volleyball and football finished with winning records. Still a lot of great games this upcoming week as well. Here's a look at that schedule. Cougar soccer heads to Corpus Christi to take on the Islanders Friday night, while volleyball hosts the Flo Hyman Collegiate Cup. Cross country kicks off that season Friday with the 41st annual Rice Invitational, and of course football has its game against Lamar, as we previously mentioned. Now, though, we move on to this week's poll question, but first, some of your answers from last week. We asked you what your favorite part of game days is here at UH. Dennis said tailgating before a big Coug win. Dennis, I feel you on that one. And Cole said, my favorite part about game day is the winning score at the end of the contest. And the Cougars must have heard him because they brought that winning score against Oklahoma. So now on to this week's question. Who is your MVP of the Oklahoma game? Sid, there's so many ways you can go with this. Already mentioned Greg Ward. Already mentioned Brandon Wilson. You can also go with Stephen Dunbar, who had over 100 yards. Ty Cummings had 4 field goals as well. The list goes on and on and on.
It really does, and I don't think you can leave out Tyler McCloskey, the tight end, one of the senior leaders and captains on this team, who had a touchdown this weekend as well. As always, put your vote in the comments section on Facebook and reply to this video on Twitter, and next week your answer could be featured. But for now, that does it for Cougar Central. Be sure to follow UH Athletics on both Facebook and Twitter. Also, don't forget to tune in next week for more UH Athletic updates, and as always,
Go Cougs!